Welcome to Piano Video Lessons Year 1, Unit 6. Today's lesson is lesson number 9, and you can click the info card to come on over to pianovideolessons.com, where you can find a link to the ebook and also links to all the other free videos that I have available. Today's lesson is on ties, what they look like, how to count them, and how to play them. Today's free video is sponsored by my patrons at Patreon. Click the info card to find out more or to become a patron. Let's get started. All right, so in our last lesson, we learned to play the March Slav, and here we have a super short lesson that's going to teach us about ties. So we have seen a long line in music before that sort of goes over a bunch of notes like this, and it tells us to play the notes smoothly connected. And this long line is called a slur, and the slur is over a group of notes that are different letters. So there could be a lot of them, there could be just 2 of them, but they always have different notes. A tie is the same sort of line, only it always connects 2 notes that are the same letter in the same line or space. So if this was bass clef, and we have these 2 notes, they're both A's, and if we place a line like this underneath these 2 A's, that note is a tie, or that line is a tie. And what a tie does is it ties the time of the 2 notes together. So let's say, for example, I was playing something here and it was in 2/4 time. And this note holds for 2, and then the measure ends. And I have to keep on playing, but they want the note to hold beyond the 2 beats. The only way to do that is to tie the notes together. So what you'll end up with is hold for 2 plus hold for 2 more. So now instantly, in a time signature where each measure divides us into only 2 beats, we can hold a note for the count of 4 by tying 2 notes together that are each equal to 2 beats. That's not the only time that we can tie a note. We could have a single beat here and then 2 eighth notes, and we could tie together this 1 note plus the 8th note. So we would have here 1, 2, and now what's happening is this is a similar effect to having the dotted quarter note. So we have the 1 note tied to the half beat, and then we're left with just this 8th note to happen on the second half of the beat. So a tie is a line that's shaped similarly to a slur, but it only uses 2 notes, and the 2 notes are the same. Now, it could use 3 notes, but we will need another tie. So let's say we wanted to actually hold this note, this A, let's say we wanted to hold it for 5.5 beats. We could place another tie here that would say hold for 2, keep holding for 2, keep holding for 1, keep holding for half more, and you're done. So if you want to keep the note holding even longer than you can in 2 measures, you can just add another tie to keep the note continuing. So anytime you see a small little smile on these notes, that's a tie. Now a tie can also appear in the other direction. So if we had 2 notes that were tied like this, it's an upside down smile, but it's still a tie because these are both in the same space. So they're tied together. So let's now turn over to our notes, and we can see here some examples. So here we see a 4/4 time. We have a half note and a half note tied to another one. So this one is now equal to 2 plus 2 is 4. And then over here, this is the same example we saw before. We have a 1 beat note, and then here we have a half beat on this 8th note. So the total here is now 1.5 beats. And looking at the next line, here we have a 4 beat note tied to a half note, which is 2 beats, for a total of 6 beats. And here we have a 4 beat note tied to another 4 beat note for a total of 8 beats. So now it says, how long do each of these ties hold? Practice clapping and then playing this musical example. So let's see how long they hold for. So first we have these 2 quarter notes tied together. So we're going to have 1 plus 1 is 2. And then we have 2 plus 2 is 4. And then we have 1 plus a half is 1.5. Now, some of this could get tricky to count, but let's just give it a try. Let's go all the way to here, and we're going to count to 4 while we clap. So here we go. Ready, go. 1, 2, that's a tie. 3, 4, 1, 2. So you see I had to say 3, 4, 1, 2, because this bar line makes me start over at 1 again. So I had 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we're going to have 3, 4, and 1, 2. We're just going to go as far as this arrow. So back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, so we see these ties coming through. Now it gets a little easier here. We're going to have 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1. So 3, 4, 1. And then we have 2 and 3, 4. So T, D, tie. So we play or we clap both of these notes, and the second one is tied in, so we don't play or clap this one at all. So I'm just going to start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you might want to just listen to that a couple times, roll it back, and hear how the clapping lines up with the counting. So we have some longer ties. This line is easier for the counting. So we're going to have beat number 1, and then 2, 3, 4, tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, tie. 1, 2, 3, keep holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many beats for this all together? We have 4 plus 4 plus 1. So that's a 9 beat tie right there. 9 beats. All right, so let's try this line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. All right, so these are this note is A in the bass. Let's go ahead and play these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So when you see those small lines in the music, you'll know they're ties, and we'll be using those in an upcoming song. Our next lesson is playing in the key of E minor. We're going to learn all of the drills we need to play in the key of E minor so that we can use them to play the Moonlight Sonata, which has ties, and it's in E minor. All right, so we'll see you in lesson 10. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you're keeping track of your progress on your practice sheet. If you haven't come on over to pianovideolessons.com, you should do that now so that you can get access to all of my free videos. And if you really enjoyed this lesson, I would love it if you would consider becoming a sponsor on Patreon.